Good morning, team. We are back with another episode of Cajun Tiger Plays. I am Cajun Tiger, and we are doing a Let's Play series. This is a playthrough of Dyson Sphere Program. We are on our way to completing everything. This is our second to last episode. We are going to build our mech charging area here that we've done in the past so that our mech can charge up while we talk about our issues and our things for today. First issue is our iron is severely low. We kind of hinted at it, but I didn't realize how bad it was. Our copper is getting there, but we don't use as much copper as we do iron. So in order to solve this, we're just going to request some iron from other planets, and we'll bring iron in. Before we do that, for our activities today, we are going to need more solar panels than we have, I think. So we are going to remote demand solar panels, copper, and iron. And those will fill up. Oh, there goes our critical photons coming in. So while all of those guys are filling up, we'll clean up here from our charging stations, and we will, head down to make a little bit of room in our inventory. If I can fly, we'll come here first, because this used to be an iron ore patch. It is not anymore. We're going to lower the amount our drones can take so that they'll empty that out, and we'll clean this guy up real quick while we're here. There's no need to have all of this stuff sitting here doing nothing, so we can clean it up as we pass by. That's the problem, though. Our iron ore patches are running out on the planet, so we want to take care of that. Let's clean up some of the stuff that's in our inventory. We're going to leave some foundations here because we don't need them. Take these guys out and put them there. We don't need them in our logistics network. And then the hydrogen as well. And then we probably have other stuff in our logistics network that we don't necessarily need, but this is good enough. Oh, we definitely are going to need fuel for our activities today. Let's go ahead and bite the bullet right now and fuel up our mech. And that way that's done. We can put these warpers in here. Space warpers, I think they're called officially. And we'll head back up to the pole, let our mech charge his little bit of power from the battery, because we definitely want a full battery, while we pick up our solar panels and talk about our other plans for today. So we are working towards getting our milestones. The three things we wanted to finish were all of the milestones, which we're almost there. We wanted a Dyson Sphere completed, and we wanted to finish our technology research to get our mission complete technology. So we are set up, ready to create white science and finish our technologies. We are building a Dyson Sphere as we speak. We just need to finish some of these multicolored research science things before we can actually finish our technology. And in order to do the artificial star, which is one of our milestones, we need to do that research, and then we also need to do this research to unlock it and be able to do the fuel, the Antimatter Fuel Rods that fuel the artificial star. So today, before that's ready, while that's being researched, we're going to go find unipolar magnets so that we can collect them. They are used, where are they? They are used, I believe, here to make particle containers. So we are not going to set them up to transport back and forth to our planet, but we are going to find them. So that leads us to the next part of our discussion. Way over there is our black hole. Black hole has unipolar magnets. I really wanted to go to that system, and hopefully we'll get to do it in our next episode, but I'm not sure if we will or not. Right now, our mech, because of the amount of power he has in his energy, he's only able to travel about 12 light years. So these two stars that are the closest ones to the black hole are not within 12 light years. So we would be drifting and waiting and drifting and waiting. The other reason I wanted to go is in our next episode, I want to build the interstellar mall hub depot thingy that we've talked about and explain how that would work for you in future gameplays that you do. I will probably use it in future gameplays just because it's a really cool build, but I wanted to build it and talk about it. Pollux is a great place for it because it has water, sulfuric acid, grading crystal, organic crystal, fractal silicon, kimberlite, fire ice, crude oil, and it's got lots of other resources that we need. The only thing it really is low on is stone, which may or may not cause a problem. I think we'll be okay, but we can always ship stone in. There are a couple of systems nearby that have stone as well that we can always dump stone into some interstellar logistic vessels. We can get hydrogen from our graphene, all of that. Anyway, back to our unipolar magnets. We're going to go to the neutron star over here. It has plenty of unipolar magnets for us to get. And it also has this star, which is 11 light years from us, Beta Lacertae. Then it has this star, Alnitak, which is about 11 to 12 light years from Alnitak. And then our neutron star is 12 light years from Alnitak. So our first stop is Beta Lacertae 1, and we will go there and talk about how we're going to do this trip with our when we get there, and then we'll probably jump into high speed mode so that we can finish it, and that way you guys don't have to sit and watch and listen to me blather on while we're traveling. However, there is some blathering that I need to do in this first trip. We're going to jump into hyperspace mode. Oh, I forgot to say punch it. Or let's warp, which was the one I used last time. But anyway, during this travel, I want to mention what I forgot to mention in our last episode, the If You Know, You Know from the previous week. Last week's If You Know, You Know was nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Hopefully you're familiar with that. That is from Monty Python. I am a Monty Python fan. My wife groans and rolls her eyes when I turn Monty Python on and dives deeper into her book or her game on her phone. She's not a fan, but I like Monty Python. The parrot skit, the lumberjacks, the spam, all of the fun skits that they did, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the Knights That Say Knee. I like all of it, so I figured I'd give them a little bit of love in my If You Know, You Know. We'll be doing more If You Know, You Know in the future, but that was the one for today, or for last week, I guess I should say. All right, I jumped out of warp a little too soon. I was premature because I was talking, but that's okay. This planet is very close. You can see how fast it's moving. Our straight shot is not a straight shot. So this is one of the reasons that I've mentioned in the past. You want to be careful with your energy, because you need to be sure you have enough energy to maneuver at the end of your travels. So what we're going to do with each of these guys, and we will clean it up on our way back home, but we're going to use the generous amount of solar energy on the planet to fuel our mech, or to charge up our mech. So I wanted to show you how to do this one because I've already gotten it. There is a Steam achievement that if you carefully place these around this outer circle here, and then I'm having trouble with my mouse. Okay, there we go. Get this working. All right, so we place those in the outer circle, and then you can place 4 more in the inner circle. You don't need all of those, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There is a Steam achievement for charging the mech with more than 12, or with 12 or more, I can't remember the exact wording, wireless power towers. So if you come to, it's hard to get to that many if you're not doing that at a pole. So you can definitely use this opportunity if you're following along, playing along. If not, then if you do want to do an achievement run, try to get Steam achievements, which we may come back to Dyson Sphere at some point and do some work on getting Steam achievements. But for now, this is good. And we should be, yeah, we're at 100% sufficiency. So we should be all right. Let's build a little more over here just in case our orbit takes us out of alignment. But anyway, if you're doing 100%, or you're trying to get all the achievements, this is the way to get your 12 charging stations. All right, we're going to jump into our interstellar mode here, and we're going to pick Alnitak. We'll zoom in there. Alnitak 2, Alnitak 1 is a gas giant. Alnitak 2 is the satellite that rotates around it. It only has 129% solar energy. We're going to go to Alnitak 3. Simply 102% is fine, and it's going to be easier to land on. We don't have to worry about the gas giant's gravity and all of that mess. So that will be good enough for us. And then we'll do the same thing there, set up this type of arrangement. I'm going to tear down this middle section. I don't think we need them, but just so that we have them. And while I do this and head to our neutron star and do the same thing on the planet orbiting the neutron star, we'll go into high speed mode. We'll jump out of high speed mode when we get there and get our unipolar magnets. While we're in high speed mode, I want to jump in and do a quick shout out. Stick with the TV theme that we've been talking about, and we are going to do a shout out today for a TV show from 1989 through 1993. TV show called Quantum Leap. I've already talked about the fact that I am a huge Scott Bakula fan, love just about everything I've seen him in, and he plays Dr. Sam Beckett, who travels in time and jumps into other people's bodies. Well, he's actually not in their body, it's his body. He has an artificial intelligent computer called Ziggy, and Al Calvecchi is his assistant, who shows up as a hologram and gives him advice and tells him what Ziggy thinks he's traveled to this particular person to help them accomplish or something like that. I absolutely loved the show, loved watching it. And I did watch the new version. I wish Scott Bakula had made an appearance, but I watched the first season. I don't think I've seen the full second season yet, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't quite the same without Scott Bakula there, but I loved Quantum Leap. How about you? Did you get a chance to watch Quantum Leap? Did you enjoy it? Was it one of the shows that you watched on a regular basis? It was for me. All right, we're back. We're going to grab 10 of these unipolar magnets. We'll get our milestone here, and that takes care of that milestone. Now all we have left is our artificial star milestone. While we're collecting 10 of those, we'll look up at our neutron star, which is pretty epic to behold. We'll get a better look in just a minute. I'd actually recorded this video and forgot to look at the neutron star, so wanted to take a moment to look at it before we leave the planet. Let's get up to our pole. We don't have a lot of energy that we need, but we can grab a little bit, and then we'll look at our neutron star here from the pole. We can see it a little bit better. That's pretty cool. You can go and orbit that neutron star. That was the other thing I wanted to mention here. There are a couple of STEAM achievements that we're going to talk about. Boy Genius. Locate and orbit a neutron star. Ha ha ha. If you know, you know. Maybe you know about that one. The other one I wanted to talk about is Magpie. The reason we got 10 unipolar magnets, we have not been getting 10 of each of our rare veins, and we want to collect 7 of them so we can get that particular achievement, that STEAM achievement. So all that said, we are going to clear all of this stuff out. We're going to head back to our home planet. We'll do that in high speed mode so that you guys don't have to listen to me blather on as we travel. So we'll go back through Alnitak, Beta Lacertae, and we'll get all of that done and end up back on Pyxidis II, where we will start working on, while we're traveling, our controlled annihilation reaction will finish, and we'll be able to start working on the build for that. So high speed mode until we can get back home and work on the build that we need to work on. Jumping in during this high speed mode with another little shout out. I wanted to take a minute as we're nearing the end of our Dyson Sphere Program playthrough to say thank you to every one of you. You guys have followed and subscribed and watched all of my shenanigans throughout this project. I don't know what I really expected, and in the grand scheme of of creators and YouTubers. I don't think I'm making that big of a splash, but I can say I don't think I fully really expected to have close to 40 subscribers, almost 2,000 views, almost 150 comments. So I appreciate the interaction. I appreciate the follows, the likes, the subscribes, all of it. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys seem to be at least enjoying what I'm doing with my time, and it's fun to be able to share my thoughts on the game and my experiences in life growing up and all the TV shows that I've watched and all the other fun if you know things. So thanks again to all of you guys for watching. Back live, and we need to turn some of these on for photon generation. Apparently, I did not get all of them turned on, so should be able to copy and paste that. Oh, we're too far away. Let's get over here to the middle. Should be able to paste. Oh, we're still too far away from that one. Fine, we'll get closer. Okay, so all of these guys should be set up right. That guy up in the top corner is not. And then we'll need to move over here so that we can double check these guys. Okay, now everybody should be set up to create photons instead of actually retrieve energy, which is good because we need the photons. We are going to work on building our antimatter fuel rods, and in order to do that, we need hydrogen, antimatter, we need these new annihilation constraint spheres, and we need titanium alloy. So we are going to request processors here because we'll need those, and we will request titanium alloy as well. We don't need a lot, so we're just going to limit that to 1,000 for both of those. And we will demand both of those, let them come in. Then we will bring a line of critical photons out over here so that we can build a couple of our particle accelerators, miniature particle accelerators, so that they can make our antimatter and our matter and antimatter. Now, they make 1 per second each. So by putting 2 of them down here, we'll make 2 per second. In order for us to make the rods, we need 1 per second. For us to make 2 annihilation rods, we need half per second. So by making 2 per second, we should be able to feed 4 assemblers. If my quick mental math is correct, we should be able to, let's see if we can get rid of, get rid of some of this. Well, not quite sure what happened there, but okay. Your game guide is sometimes problematic. Okay, there we go. And we can bring our, wherever it went, critical photon, or our antimatter on the closer one, the hydrogen on the one further away. Copy that over. Oops. Well, we can't copy that over because of the way the belts are working, so we'll just put antimatter there and hydrogen there. Okay, now we can clean this up a little bit. Oh, probably because we've talked about that before. We trimmed our belt up here, and it sometimes doesn't like that. So up here, we will build a planetary logistics station right here. And in order to make the annihilation constraint spheres, we need the particle containers and processors. We are getting particle containers, but we're not making processors anywhere that we're sending to the logistics network. Fortunately, we are sending the electromagnetic turbines, copper, and graphene to the network, so we can just get those and make the rods, the particle containers, excuse me, the particle containers, we can make them on our own. So, which is not a big deal, not a problem. Do need to add a Tesla tower here for him. And we can bring the Again, we don't need a lot of them. I believe it's I believe our setup is going to be for 3 each, 2 each, 2 each. So again, it takes one every 20 seconds. So, and that creates one annihilation sphere. We need one annihilation sphere every 24 seconds. We need a little bit more if we're going to make more. So we want to make more than that. We want to make about 4 per second. But in order to make 4 per second, we really only need 4 machines. So that's what we're going to build here. We'll build 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Actually, we'll build it a little bit further away so that we can... And we're just gonna build this. We're just gonna rebuild this whole thing. We're gonna build a little bit further apart so that we can put our Tesla towers in the middle as well. And that will take care of all of our energy. Helps if we don't want a lot of these guys either, so we're going to limit them to 1,000 as well. And it helps if you turn them on for demand. Otherwise, they won't be demanded. Okay, there we go. So those things are going to come in. We will set these guys to make our particle containers and take all of our materials in. And then we will build a line for the output over here. Bringing it back that way. And we should be able to copy this one to each of these guys. Oh, he's missing just a little bit of belt. Well, there we go. Okay, so now the slow part here is our electromagnetic turbines, so we might end up having to update that build a little bit, but for now it should be okay. All right, now with this we will have everything we need to make our annihilation constraint spheres. So again, we are making, from our process here, we are making 2 per second. That will give us the ability to make 4 antimatter fuel rods, 4 assemblers. That will feed 4 assemblers. And in order to feed 4 assemblers with this, we just need to be able to make 4 constraint spheres every 24 seconds. So should be able to do that pretty easily if we make, we'll just make 4 more assemblers, which is probably going to be overkill, but it will let us do what we need to do. We're going to put them, let's see, we want those assemblers. Let's put assemblers over here just as a guide, and then we'll have a line there. There's our solar, our artificial star. We'll have 2 lines. So what we want is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll set our recipe. Whoops. Set our recipe here for our annihilation sphere. We'll bring our, oops, not that far. Bring our, oh, what are those things called? Particle containers. And then we want to fix this so that these guys are going in on this side. Reverse path on him. Oh, we don't want critical photons. Reverse path again. Take those critical photons back in. Let's change that. Well, let's just delete that there. Then we can reverse path. And then we can set it up to pull out what we want, which is our processors. Put our processors here. And we want our output line right there. That will give us exactly what we need. We take our processors in, our particle containers in, and our control annihilation control spheres out. And then in this last spot, we want to bring out our titanium alloy, and we'll bring it all the way over here. It looks like our annihilation spheres are all working. Looks like we've got power to everything. So let's come over here and we will build 1, 2, 3, 4 there. We can't do that. Nope, we don't want to do that. We want to build, we can build there, and then we'll build the 4th one here. There we go. That'll work. And the reason for that is because we are going to need an output lane for our fuel rods once they're created. So let's bring all of our belts all the way over. And again, none of this is new, just showing you guys how I'm laying this spaghetti out for this particular build. I'm going to build antimatter fuel rods here. We can put our Tesla towers in, and then we can use our sorters here. Put sorters on this side as well, and then an output sorter. And then we can copy that guy over. And that should get us what we need there. We are going to sneak in and grab annihilation spheres from there. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to grab 50 of these guys. And then we'll grab 50 processors as well, so that we can be making some annihilation spheres in our inventory, which we actually aren't going to need the annihilation spheres specifically. Oops, wrong button. We actually want to make our artificial stars. And I messed up. So we do not have frame material coming to this planet, I don't believe. Let's see, this is local demand, remote supply, so that is stuff. We don't have frame material on this planet, so let's jump over here to our inbound, and we can request a little bit to come in. That was a mistake. I took it all. Oh, and we don't even have... Oh, we do have frame material here. Okay, so good. Let's look back at our... We need 20 of our titanium alloy, we need 20 of our frame material, and we need 10 processors. So we will get all of that right here. We're just going to grab 100 of each one of those. 2, and then we'll grab 50 processors, or 50, well, we'll try to grab 50 of the quantum chips, not processors. And that should let us make 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We can make 5 artificial stars. Let's head back to our build area. We should see deuterium fuel rods already created. Yeah, we see a little bit of a backlog of deuterium fuel rods there. So we're gonna grab a couple of them for personal use. And then we'll just bring the line down this way. We are going to build our artificial stars. We can get rid of all of this. We don't need that at all anymore. Oh, we do need that one. Sorry, that was providing power to our particle colliders. All right, we have our artificial star. We are going to put the first one right there, close as we can both directions, and then we will feed him some power. And we have some down. Oh, he's already got power. There we go. He's got it. So we now have artificial star. That gives us our final milestone. We are 42 of 42 on our milestones. We are at time. We're going to watch the rest of these build. It will take 400 seconds, which is probably too long for us to sit and wait. So we are going to call this episode for today. We got everything done that we wanted to get done, though, and that was all of our milestones. So in our next episode, we will we'll finish building our artificial stars here. We'll jump back to Pyxidis I, check on our iron, and do rearrange things so that we can get our white science, and we will start researching our mission complete technology. That will be our first one, and then we'll do the upgrade. We will probably do, I'm guessing we want to do vein utilization as our first upgrade, which is another 4,000. And while all that's going on, we will work on building our completed Dyson Sphere, which is getting there, very close. We'll look at that in just a second. Dyson Sphere is getting very close, and then we'll also head over to Pollux, our world that we had talked about earlier, which is somewhere over here. I always have trouble finding it. There it is. That's why I was looking on the wrong side of the map. We'll head over there and start working on our full build of our interstellar mall hub depot thingy that we want to build. So that will be in our next episode. That will be our final episode for Dyson Sphere Program. Remember, players, so long and thanks for all the fish. Keep building, team.